So, we're back with another stream. Voice crack. What a great way to start it. What a great way to start a stream. Oh, good job. There's only literally one person watching this stream right now, but obviously if it's on replay then you've seen it. But yeah, no, great. Well, what a day with earnings. We got the rate cut. That happened, which was expected. Um, I don't know if rate cuts are expected for December. It doesn't. I'm not too sure. Um, I don't understand why it's so delayed. Why is it delayed? Yeah, guys, I don't know why the streams are so delayed. Sorry, I seem to have like a 15-second delay, which is mental. But welcome to the stream, everyone. Yeah, I bought some Meta actually, by the way. But what I was going to do is as well, I was going to join John's TikTok stream. He's streaming on TikTok, and I said, "Oh, I'll come on." And I thought I might as well just stream here on YouTube as well. So obviously, I won't be interacting with the chat on here on YouTube that much because obviously I'll be in that stream talking to him. Which isn't. I don't know how I can set it up so you can see it, but I'll be on the TikTok in a bit. But yeah, no, Meta earnings were, well, I'll bring it up because it's an interesting situation with Meta. I ended up buying some Meta, in fact. I don't know if anyone bought the Meta dip. Because I think it was a massive overreaction, to be honest. But yeah, if you have a look at this as well, so Meta EPS of $1.05, missing expectations of $6.66. Doesn't look good at all, but it's because they had a huge one-time expense, 15.9 billion, with their EPS because of the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. It would have been $7.25 in EPS, so they would have beat. So yeah, and as well, to top it off, if I can find on here, yeah, look, business is pouring in cash from operating activities. It's just rapidly growing. I can't seem to find. There was a really good stat as well on Meta. I mean, that was a good stat as well, but like 43% of the population uses a Meta app. We've got 56 people in here. Wow. Sorry, I've not even looked at the chat. Meta is my beautiful little baby. Yeah, I bought some Meta. I did buy some Meta. I saw the news on PayPal. Yeah, Fubo dipped after the big run up with the merger. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a bit surprised, but I'm also not because people were in there for the merger to sell. It ran up a lot, went up 30% at one point. But I don't think people realise how good of an opportunity this is now for Fubo shareholders and what that means for the financials now. So it's going to be an exciting few quarters. I think I'm going to stay in with it, and yeah. Yeah, I bought some more Honest as well, actually. I've been buying up Honest because I'm down on Honest. I'll be transparent. I'll show you in a minute. I'm down on Honest. And I could be down for a while. I don't think it's going to be an instant turnaround. And that's fine. Yeah, fair enough, Will. Sold out Fubo straight away. I hit 50k today with 10k profit thanks to Google. We'll be buying more Meta tonight. Nice one. Google smashed their earnings, didn't they? Absolutely smashed it. Their EPS was crazy. yeah, I did pick up some meta. I was like rushing. I was trying to transfer some money into Train 2 on 2. I was like, come on, I need to get this dip. But look at this though, guys. Operating income up 18% year on year. And then also their ad impressions up 14% year on year. Average price per ad up 10% year on year. So, yeah. We had a strong quarter for our business and our community. Expects a strong ad revenue growth in Q4. Yeah, so I wasn't personally worried with the EPS. I mean, it's crazy, but it's just because of that one-time tax charge. So I ended up taking advantage and buying some. So yeah, but before we get into the stream with, well, I've turned on the light now. Before we get into the stream with John on TikTok, I'll show you the portfolio as well quickly. So got 208,000 in the ISA, up 1.6% on the day. Although the other portfolio is not looking good, we are in the red, which I'll show you now. We are in the red. So, as you can see here, we are down 9%. We're down heavy on these positions. Meta is going down even more. If it does go down, I mean, I'm just going to be buying this. I'm going to just keep buying this every month. It's no worries at all. And this is the thing, like with short term being in it, like you're going to have these times where you're going to have some down days and it could get worse, like it could. But I'm very, very confident, especially in the next few quarters. This could be a horrible like few months until the next quarter, just and have become a buying opportunity. John's investments, or John with investments, I think his TikTok is. Yeah, and then Honest, I picked up more shares as it's going down. And I think I will continue building up a position in Honest. Okay, so what I'm going to do is now I'll leave the screen on for the ISA. Oh, and Palantir nearly hit $200, didn't it? Mad. Absolutely crazy. But yeah, what I'll do is let's leave Palantir up. Let's do that. And then I'll leave on there. I'm going to now, I'll be able to see the chat briefly on here, on this screen. See if I can make it a bit bigger so I can actually read it. But I'm going to have to put the phone off here and get up TikTok. So I won't really be able to look at the chat, guys. So this is, if you're new to the streams, I normally will be reading the chat and keeping up to date, but I'm literally about to go on TikTok now and join John's live stream, because I said I'll join it because he's going live and I'll support him and do that. So I'm about to do that now. So if I don't know if I can mute myself on the stream and stuff, so I don't know how this is going to go. Because I wasn't gonna stream, but I was just like, why not?
It's now $2.50 a share.
Here we go. I don't know.
I do think it's a good company.
I don't. If there's going to be echo, I'm sorry.
I mentioned earlier that it might be delayed. GTA 6, is that true, Kai? But I think it is a good company. It's just I think it heavily relies on the income of GTA. But yeah. I took my profit in it. I was quite happy with it. And I just wanted to put my money elsewhere. So yeah. You're from Newcastle, but I'm not. I'm from Durham. I lived in Newcastle for 7 years, but I do support Newcastle. up nearly 15% with the S&P since I started in July. I
don't know how
suppose
to
it's not
join it.
always like this. It's not always like that, but that is very good. The S&P does average between 8 and 12% a year. I am up. I'm up 7%. Hello, Ben.
Oh, hello, you right?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. I've not done this before on TikTok, so I've done a TikTok stream before, but I've not done like a dual thing.
Yeah, I've not done one before, but there's two different ways you can do it. You can either do guest like this, or you can co-host.
Oh,
I think
really?
you have to be live to co-host.
I'm
Then we
not.
go side by side.
I'm actually I'm live on YouTube at the moment, so
Oh,
I
that's a
said
bit
I
of a
won't be.
crossover then.
Yeah, I won't be able to probably read the chat on YouTube that well, but yeah.
That's fine.
But like
I
the
want to
markets are crazy, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's so green.
Hit all-time highs with the S&P again, haven't we? Unless it's dropped.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, my portfolio is mad, and like the photo behind you, is that today's?
Yeah, that's live. That's a
Yeah.
live feed.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Oh, I saw as well. Did you see the Meta earnings?
I did.
Yeah, because they had a massive tax bill or something, a one-off tax bill.
Someone explained that in here because I wasn't aware. But I said instantly, I went, that's got to be like something they've had to pay for, and a massive tax bill, which is fair.
Yeah, I ended up buying some
Discord's talking
shares.
about it as well at the minute. They were going through all the info.
Yeah, I bought some shares, so I was just like, I'm buying it.
What, today?
Yeah, I bought some Meta shares because I think they said something like they're expected to do. Let me see, I can find it. I think it was like $6.66 they were expected to do an EPS, but obviously they reported like $1. I can't get the figures off.
Oh, $1.05.
Yeah, but they would have hit seven. I think it would have been, if without that tax bill, it would have been like $7 something. So they would have reported.
Beat it.
So
fair enough.
Yeah.
Are you impressed by any other earnings?
Google looked good.
Yeah, that does look good. That's
Google
Jordan's.
did look really good.
That's Jordan's baby and Will's baby in the Discord.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they've got some solid stocks, to be fair. But yeah, no, it's just mad how many earnings. It's just hard to keep up with it all.
I know.
All in one day.
Caterpillar, I don't know if you really know much about them, but they're where I live. They're like one of the biggest employers, and they're up like 10% a day.
Yeah, nice. Just seeing if I just need to remember I'm live on YouTube.
Someone's asked why has it been so green for the last few weeks. Not that I'm complaining. There's been quite a few massive earnings, and everyone appears to be doing well. I think this is the best the S&P earnings have performed since 2021. So it's been quite a good quarter, isn't it?
The thing is, though, like all the big caps, it's like quite an unusual thing because all the big caps are just generating so much money. Like, it's actually insane. And they carry such a huge portion of the S&P 500. And it is just dragging up the S&P 500. And it's like, and then the amount of capex, and they're constantly raising capex all the time. Like Meta have just like said they're definitely go like the lower end they did. Google raised their capex. I don't know about Microsoft, but I mean, it's just this whole AI thing is just crazy right now.
I think it's scary though. Well, it's not getting scary, but how much that it's been propped up by the big caps is, it's interesting.
Yeah, no, it is mad.
So one of my chats up 90% on Google. That's quite a good return.
And it's just like, yeah, I mean, I wanted to get into, because obviously I've not done that much research into it, but I keep eyeing up like iron and stuff like that.
I literally just recorded the video on that. It looks impressive.
Yeah.
Someone's asked, what is your opinion on Beyond Meat?
That's I don't know. It's just such a crazy short squeeze, wasn't it? I don't even know what the price is now. What is it saying now?
I'll check.
Beyond
$1.84.
Yeah, $1.80. Jeez, that has absolutely gone back down.
Yeah.
It just reminds me of AMC day, like AMC and GameStop back then.
Yeah, which was wild.
Yeah.
I never got in that, so I was just always sitting on the sideline, starting to get FOMO, but I was like, that's not.
I just realised my mate's in your live stream.
Which one is it? Morgan
giving you roses.
Yeah. No, I think he's sending them to you. Yeah, he's sending them to you from my live.
Wait, really? I'm not even live though. Like, I'm not like got my own live stream.
Oh, I can expand you there. There you are.
What does this do then?
I don't know what I've done there.
Am I on the big screen then?
Yeah, you're on the big screen. I'm on the little screen.
Uh-oh.
Someone's asked, what do you think of SoFi? That's one of yours, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, SoFi is just absolutely outperforming everything. Like, the financial... This is the thing as well. Everyone's like, oh my God, like, after the earnings, it's not really reacted well. And to be honest with you, SoFi never does. It always has a massive run-up. And then it just kind of sells off a bit or whatever. And it's kind of done the exact same. But SoFi has beaten my expectations with their EPS. Like, their guidance is now higher than my 2025 outlook. Because I think I said 36 cents they would do in 2025. And now I think they've said a guidance of 37 cents. And they normally beat their like guidance. So they could even get 40. So... I mean, they're outperforming what I was thinking, and obviously I've got an outlook up until like 2028. So the fact that they're ahead of what I'm thinking, I'm happy with it all. But yeah, no, I think, and to be fair, SoFi had a big run up, so it needs time to just chill. But everything's performing well in there. Apart from their tech platform, it's not performing well at all. But Anthony Noto said that should start performing in 2026.
That must give you so much confidence, though, that your projections are pretty much hitting.
Yeah, when I saw that straight away, I was like, this is great. Because I end up actually... Because this is the thing, like, when people are like, oh, should I buy at this price? And I'm like, with SoFi, I was like, I bought some at 26 because when I was looking at my projections, I was like, well, 26 makes sense for me to buy, because at this moment in time now of where their business is at, $26 makes sense. So I ended up buying some at 26. But like, the thing is though, this is the hard thing with the stock market, is like valuations can get blown out of proportion, which is what's happening with a lot of stocks now.
Yeah. And
it's like, it's almost as well like a judgment of what does someone want to pay for this stock? And at the moment, people want to pay a massive premium. So that's the thing that's a bit like... it's hard sometimes, because you have got some certain stocks that are just absolutely running. And... yeah, I'm just like... I've got cash as well sitting, but I have bought some Meta today. So it's put my cash pile a little bit down again. But it's... yeah, it's a strange one.
Fair enough. You've just started a new portfolio as well, haven't you? Yeah,
because I maxed out my ISA now. I'm like, I want to put some in the invest account, and so I've got into 2 different stocks, new ones. But yeah, I'm just gonna see how it gets on. But yeah, no, Meta, I just took advantage of that. To be fair, I think that tax bill, that hit that they had, I just think that's just nothing really. Like I said, I think they were going to do $7. I need to try and find the figure, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But they were going to get their EPS of reporting of $7 something, beating expectations. If it wasn't for that, so, and everything's going up. Like I think they got 43% of the planet on Meta, on one of the apps, either Instagram or Threads or WhatsApp, which is actually mental. At least, yeah.
I didn't realise that. That is a
That is a
mental
huge stat.
That
Like,
is
and
crazy.
people got to realise as well. Like, if that's the case as well, like, that's how important you, as a company, you want to promote your products or your services on Instagram or Facebook or any of these. And if you don't, if you stop your spending, your business is going to go down. Your revenues are going down. So it's almost like, I don't want to say guaranteed, but like their revenues are always in that sense going to go up in the advertisement space, because there's nothing, like, businesses just won't stop spending to advertise.
I cannot either.
So yeah, so it's an interesting one, and I did want to get Meta when it was $500, but I was in that position of wanting to buy up SoFi and AMD at the time, and it was just a case of what one do I want at the time. But now that I've got my positions in them, it's just a case of now, to be fair, I do want to build up a position in Meta, and I'm hoping we get such a horrible reaction, which we kind of have with this situation, and buy lower if it can keep going lower, because their next quarter will be really good, will be strong.
Just got to take advantage, because a lot of people panic, don't they?
Yeah.
That's when you read it and more you realise. Someone's also asking, which I know is yours, which is why I'm passing the question to you. What's your thoughts on AMD with earnings coming up?
Yeah, AMD I'm looking more out in the future, in the next few quarters with AMD, because I mean, the MI350 that they've got at the moment, it's not as strong as what it can't really compete with Nvidia at the moment if you go off the stats, but from what I've seen, the MI450 that will come out next year, and well, we've had announcements with OpenAI, hence why AMD just went up loads because of it. The MI450 will be able to compete massively with Nvidia. It'll be a lot cheaper for companies to use, so I think that's where the quarters are going to be very impressive in 2026, more so than, I mean, Q3 and Q4, I still personally think that there'll be a good quarter, but I think
they'll smash it next year.
The money is in next year, and we're getting that from the reports from like OpenAI saying about, I don't know if it's between 6 or 8 gigawatts they wanted, which is an insane amount of spend. I think like a gigawatt is between 10 and 30 billion, which, like, that's an insane amount of revenue coming AMD's way, possibly. And I think we'll start getting more announcements like with Meta, and they did with Oracle. Yeah, I'm really excited for AMD. But regardless, if you're an Nvidia or an AMD, I think you're both going to do well.
You're winning, yeah.
At the moment, it's just Nvidia's got such a huge market share, but now AMD's coming into play, and well, in 2026, and I'm not saying they could be the same as Nvidia with their market share, but even if they increase it by a little, but just by a little, it's a massive win for AMD. So yeah,
I feel like you can't really go wrong with either of them.
No.
In terms of they're both massive players, they're just going to constantly bounce, really, aren't they?
Yeah. See if I can get the stat that I looked at for the MI450. It was something like 40% token.
So one of my chats asked about investing in Aston Martin, because they've had a similar drop to Rolls-Royce. The only thing I would say is they're a completely different business. Rolls-Royce dropped due to COVID, really, because most of the business is in plane engines. So I'd be careful if you're going to go into that one. But I think Aston Martin's gone bankrupt like 7 times off the top of my head.
Jeez.
It's crazy.
Yeah, no, that's mad.
What do you like more, AMD or Nebius? For me, it's Nebius, because I'm invested in Nebius.
Yeah, I can't comment because I really just don't know much about them, but it's, from what I've heard, it sounds good. So yeah,
it is good. What I was saying in the Discord earlier, though, is what scares me a little is if the big boys like Amazon and Google and Microsoft keep building their own AI data centers, how much need are we going to need for all these other third parties? So I don't know if they're going to win in the long term, which obviously is probably the best position to, but in the short term, I think all the other parties will do well.
Yeah. Can you mute yourself on it? You can you?
Yeah.
Because I might just quickly read my chat quick on YouTube and then be back.
Yeah, that's fine. Grab looks decent. I'll mute myself for you with that. I can't do that.
Honestly, don't worry about that.
Okay.
It's fine. They can listen as well.
Grab looks decent. I do agree that earnings are coming up very soon. And if you can hear a dog yapping, I do apologise.
Him stock.
They're in my calendar.
Well, I'll turn down John. Him stock. I've just muted myself. I like the look of it. The revenues are very, very strong. Like, quickly just look over it. There's a lot of expectations with it. Like, their revenue growths are very, very strong, as you can see. Sorry, this is really hard trying to like be on TikTok and then also on the YouTube. I've not really done this, but I will be back in a minute after this TikTok, and I'll let John carry on with it. But I that was something I wanted to kind of look more into Hims, but I never did in the end. So, and yeah, it's just, you can't have every single stock. And by the way, guys, you don't want to just have every single stock, because your money won't really work for you then, because that's why I've purposely built bigger positions in like AMD and like you could say SoFi as well, and Oscar, because I am more convicted with it. I'm more confident. Grab, I do want more though. I do. I'll go back on the thing. On the.
No, you're not a financial advisor. I want to try and make tutorials for people so they know what tools and what metrics to look at. What's your chat saying? Anything interesting?
They were just saying about Hims, but I've not properly looked. But I know they just grow, like their revenue growth are stupidly crazy. But I don't know what PE they're trading at now. They might have dropped a lot, because I know they've dropped.
Yeah, they had that massive drop, didn't they?
54 now. Interesting. I wonder what their forward PE is.
Because you're in Oscar, aren't you?
Yeah.
And how different is Hims to Oscar?
Well, it's massively, because I see Oscar as the all-in-one health app compared to like, for instance, like SoFi is like an all-in-one financial app. From the way they're going down Oscar, and how from even just some of the products that they're kind of starting to release, and the new chatbot that they've just said they've come out with OpenAI, is like, I just feel like they're trying to build that customer base, and it will all be through Oscar. Like in a few years' time, I see people using Oscar as their all-in-one kind of app when it comes to health and booking appointments and things like that. So yeah, but and to be honest with you, the big thing for me as well is how confident the CEO is with the guidance that they're giving, and the fact that obviously with the subsidies being extended or not, he's going off the fact that they're not going to be extended, and he's still saying that 2026 they want to become profitable, which is huge. And to be honest with you, you can go off his track record. He's got a good track record, and their earnings are very impressive. And then 2027, he wants to, 14 billion? Yeah, 14 billion in revenue, and then their margins be 5%. And I think he was saying an EPS of like $2.25. So if you go off a fair value, I think that's about $45 to $55 a share. Obviously they need to execute that though. They need to do that. But going off the financials and everything, like, I mean, they're growing very, very fast. Like very, very fast. and their earnings are coming up soon. So, I mean, yeah, like then they're looking at they've been growing about 45%, then 57%, and then 49% and annually. Like, yeah, what's that as a? Oh, I can't get it up. That's a CAGR of 76%.
I feel like you've talked me into looking into them there. I'm gonna have to do that.
I've been, if it hits 17, I keep buying Oscar.
Right, okay. I'm just getting the financials up now.
So yeah, no, they want to become profitable next year. So where is see? Oh, I can't because it's on my phone.
Do you need me to pull anything up for you?
I'm trying to think if I can. I might have it on my laptop because I jot notes down and find stuff and just put it down. Let's put it there.
Any advice on the right time to take profits? Bit of a difficult one.
And also it's.
And it hits the price targets and.
But I think the other thing is as well. It's like, obviously this is not financial advice, but like if you're like in it, depends on what part of your life you're in, or also like what your goals are. Because if you're looking at retiring like in a year's time, then I mean, I would be selling. I would probably be pulling out most of my portfolio, because if I'm retiring, then I'd be getting a bit worried about maybe how it could go down a lot. But if you're like very young and you're looking at this as being your retirement, then these highs are going to look like the lows of in decades to come. Obviously, don't get me wrong, don't get yourself in a situation where you buy a ridiculously overvalued stock. Like for instance, Neo was that had a horrible time, and then people were buying the dip, but the dip just kept going. So, and you still be down after all these years. So, if you're getting into solid companies and you're hearing these contracts coming in or this and that, and you're hearing good things about that company, then sometimes companies will trade at a high premium because they're growing at a ridiculous rate. So their PE will soon half and go down very quickly as soon as you know it. But yeah, no, so some stocks were not even making any money. Their revenues were all over the place, and they were trading at insane valuations. So it's like, where's that valuation even coming from?
And I think for a lot of people, if they don't already know, if you look at the PE, then the forward PE, that's sort of an early indicator if they're going to grow into that price. So if you're looking for an early look and a quick look, just look for that.
Yeah.
James, I'm sure I know you somewhere from real life, just someone who's commented on my TikTok. I recognise him from somewhere. I don't know if he's where it's from, but that's just weird.
I think Jensen as well said, I think analysts were thinking something like 380 or something billion or whatever. That I don't know what figure it was from, but Jensen mentioned 500 billion, and it got people. Well, that's what kind of raised kind of a lot of stocks today as well, and Nvidia especially, because all the analysts had to kind of rush off and say, "Oh, we're actually downplaying what Nvidia can actually do, because he's just now said this." But I didn't actually properly look into it or look at it, but I heard about it, and that was quite interesting, because then everyone was just like, "Well, obviously the whole AI bubble, well, it's just got bigger because he's just said it, but it's just a case of, is he right?"
I think I've seen the clip you're on about, but I can't remember what you said.
Yeah, I know this, and that's the trouble with live streams. You're just like, but let me see if I can pull it up, see if I can find it. Because they hit 5 trillion, didn't they? their market cap, which is mad. Oh yeah, $500 billion in AI chip orders over the next 4 years, and a lot of analysts were saying or expecting, or I think he even mentioned at the time, it was going to be 300 and something. So then he's just literally just said 500. So then it's now like we go back to the drawing board. I need to start doing new price calculations.
Just their chips or in general? Because I've wrote something down.
It says here, it said Tuesday that the company expects $500 billion in AI chip orders over the next 4 years. So yeah.
So I had something here. An expert from Omdia expected it to grow to 268 billion on AI chips by 2030. So that's well ahead of that.
But then this is the thing as well, isn't it? Like looking at iron and stuff, like that's kind of like a reason why they're kind of trying, because there's so much compute and there's just they can't keep up with it, and they need to have all these kind of data center areas in different companies. But I just the money at the moment's just mad, and what OpenAI are coming out and saying, it's just yeah.
Do you reckon they're going to IPO? Because there's been a lot of talk about that. I think it'll be a crazy one if they do.
Yeah, that would be.
Someone's asked what's your thought on cash ISAs? Investor, to be fair.
Yeah, I don't actually have one, so.
My emergency savings is in the cash ISA just because why not? But
and to be fair, because obviously isn't ISAs, you have 20 grand across all ISAs, like ISAs, cash, stocks and shares. So I wouldn't be able to anyway. So because I've already deposited all the money, but I can't put more into a cash anyway. But I don't really see the point with a cash ISA, to be honest, personally. Obviously, if you had a massive savings and you wanted to just be a bit more cautious, but it sounds like it's going to, is it 10 now? 10,000 they're cutting it to.
Yeah, 5 or 10. I think people are worried it's 5, but I don't think they'll put it that low.
Yeah, I think they said like originally like that, something that low, and then I think they've like heard about it and they've gone, oh, we're going to do it to 10, but who knows? They change their mind all the time, so. But yeah.
James, I don't know if I met you at something to do with Durham Uni. Bosh, that thing about the cash ice at the minute, heavily speculation, but it looks like it's likely to happen.
Because going back to Oscar as well, I was just looking at some of the notes when I was first buying Oscar, because I was buying it at $14 or $13, and at the time it was trading at like something like 0.4 times sales, and I was like, this is criminal. I was like, I'm buying this.
That's and a good spot, that.
Yeah, I wish, like, obviously it's so wishful thinking, it's easy said than done, but I so wish I bought more. But even now I think it's criminally undervalued, so I'm excited for the returns that possibly could happen, because if they're growing like 50% a year, then and they can keep that up, or even if they're going to be 30% a year growing, like it's good growth. But it goes back to the valuations again, doesn't it? It's like we've got some stocks trading at 10 times their sales or 30 times their sales or whatever. Like imagine if Oscar people go, oh, we see the growth here, we now see that's a profitable company, because that's the thing that's holding it back. It's not a profitable company. It needs to be going back to profitability. Once it does that and they're growing at those rates, there'll be a multiple on that, and the multiple could be aggressive and could be good. Like imagine if it did have a multiple of 5 times. Like, do you know what I mean? And that's not unreasonable if they're going to be growing a lot, and they are profitable. So 2026 is a interesting year for them, but I think 2027 is going to be the proper year. It's just like SoFi as well. I'd say to so many people, like when I was getting SoFi, they were criminally undervalued and they were smashing their earnings. They kept sandbagging their earnings, and analysts just kept pushing it down, didn't want anything to do with it. Their fundamentals, financials are just getting better and better, yet no one wanted to buy the stock. So it traded sideways for a long time, and then I was just buying and buying, and then now everyone wants to seem to buy it. But that's just the way it is.
It'll be the same when Grab goes up.
Yeah,
Not
Grab. I'm telling you now, I think Grab's going to have a... Don't quote me if anyone's watching this, but it could, not financial advice, be quite similar to how and what SoFi's had, because they're flipping to becoming profitable.
They've had two profitable quarters now?
Yeah, I think so. They need a full year, don't they? And then that'll be...
But I think it won't grow as much because it's not a US stock.
Yeah, they probably won't ever have a mad premium compared to, yeah, like you say, American stocks. It's just like UK stocks. They don't have as much of an aggressive valuation because they just don't. Like everyone wants a stock in America. Like we're English and we're buying American stocks. I mean, you're good because you actually buy UK stocks, but
I buy a few, yeah.
but I bet most people in this stream that's watching on my YouTube or your TikTok stream, I bet a lot of people hold more American stocks than UK, if not 100% American stocks.
I think I do now, which I didn't historically.
Really?
Yeah, let me look. I've got three UK stocks, one European stock, 2 American stocks. So I'm still heavily UK. Me and Ben both hold Grab. So one of my chats all American apart from Rolls Royce or Rich Tech Robotics, whichever one that is. I don't know anymore because they both are.
Oh yeah, that confused
really
me.
Confuses me.
That really confused me. Yeah. The reason why I don't have a bigger Grab position is, one, I want some cash in my ISA just in case of a correction so I can buy, because I can't put any more money in until April. And two, at the time, I just had a bit more conviction in SoFi and AMD at the time. That's the only reason. But Grab, I still think it's a great company and I think it's going in the right direction and there's a lot of potential. But at that moment in time, I just saw SoFi and AMD a better buying opportunity. If I had the money, I would love to put more in, and I still would like to put more into Grab. So it is just one of those. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the same position. I do love Grab and the fundamentals, but I see higher immediate growth from other stocks. So I didn't put in as much.
And to be honest, like SoFi, for example, that was ahead of Grab in the sense of like they were starting to become profitable like for the full year and have that explosive growth, whereas Grab is going to have that, I'm sure, and I think we're kind of around the corner to it. So
have you seen the new feature they've got, by the way?
What's that?
Where you can book tables through the app for restaurants, and it's massively growing. Apparently it's really popular with tourists.
Oh, that's interesting.
Discounts at the restaurants for booking through Grab. So that's like massively growing. I seen it on Twitter last week.
Oh, that is interesting. Because you can also, when I was out there, I used the Grab app and I said, with my mates, we ended up getting like a McDonald's delivery, and you do it all in one app, and then you request the payments, and so you would do the order, and then you put in your order of what you want from McDonald's, and it will go through. So okay, I'll explain a bit. So on my app, I had the Grab app, and we were going to choose McDonald's.
Yep.
You would then invite your friends to it, and then they will do their order on their app, but then it will go through to mine as one app, as one order as one whole order, but then it will take their money, their bit of what which was quite cool. That was a cool feature, and I was like,
I'm surprised Uber
Grab,
haven't tried to replicate that.
yeah, honestly, Grab did good. Like they got it. They got so many different avenues with it, with everything. So and yeah,
James has said Nvidia is starting to scare him because it's the richest company in the world. Doing 15% in 1 week is mad. That's why he was asking about taking profits.
yeah. I
Which
mean,
is fair.
it's so fair. If you're taking profits, fair enough.
And I think being scared when the way the market has acted so well is also fair enough.
Yeah.
I would just say, James, look at your horizon. How long are you aiming to hold Nvidia for, and where do you see it going? Because then that might make a decision on whether you take profits or averaging.
Yeah.
Someone said not convinced with Grab. Uber Eats can.
Uber couldn't compete with Grab, and they ended up getting a stake into Grab.
Haven't they? Is it 15 or 10% they've got? Or was it higher?
I think it was higher. I don't want to say the number just in case I get it wrong, but
Yeah.
I thought it was like something like 30%. But maybe I'm completely wrong, but because there's so many figures and so many things to remember that Uber and Grab. Let me check.
13.
13. Okay, that's where I was getting muddled up.
Toyota's got 5%.
So yeah, so 13% then, and it's because they just couldn't compete. That's what they openly said, I think. But
because they pulled out the market, didn't they? And then invested in Grab.
Yeah.
Tried to launch, couldn't compete.
The one thing I'm curious with Grab, and I'm like, do we get this in the earnings, is their cash pile is insanely big for the size of the company.
Yeah.
And it's been like that for a while, and it's like, what are they doing? Are they getting an acquisition, planning on that, or what?
Well, it went quiet. There was loads of talk, wasn't there?
With GoTo or whatever, so.
Yeah, and then it went really quiet. So imagine they do announce that in the earnings. That would just.
Yeah.
That could be a good catalyst.
I'm very excited, to be fair, because I think analysts on physical AI, I've got it up on on the YouTube anyway, but analysts have got 2027 for them to do 16 cents in EPS. At the moment, they're obviously negative. Well, yeah. Well, it depends on. Well, 2024 they were negative by 1 cent. 2025 consensus is 5 cents. So, I mean, there's a lot of growth coming their way, and I think analysts will be downplaying it a lot.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you as well, like analysts have to be. They can't be like what retail investors are like, saying, "Oh, I think it could go to this," and I'm not saying, because retail investors have got ridiculously clever and know they've got a lot smarter, but I don't think analysts can't really go and give like a bit more of what they probably do think. They probably have to downplay it a bit, because otherwise they could end up losing their jobs, and they're managing a lot more money. Like they need to be a bit more cautious.
I feel like another thing that analysts do that people don't realise is they only go off what's put out financially by the company.
Yeah.
I feel like they don't factor in all the news or all the.
100. No, you are so right.
You genuinely just go off what was reported in the last earnings. So when we say Nebius, all this news is coming out.
100. Yeah, true.
Contracts. They don't look at that. They just look at the actual financials that are being posted.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is where people get annoyed a lot.
By the way, guys, can you hear John well? Let me know in the chat. I've just asked my YouTube chat if they can hear you, because I just realised I'm hoping they can.
It's alright if they can't.
Otherwise, it's just like I've been talking to myself, and they're like thinking, who am I answering to? I've said I'm on a TikTok live as well, but
that's what streaming is, isn't it? Talking to yourself.
No, that is the weird concept. Like, if I had like 100 people, like how many people are actually on the stream? So we've got 55 on the TikTok.
And you've got 84. I've got
84, bloody hell. So like, imagine that people sat in front of us.
It's like a whole assembly hall, isn't it?
I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah, because I had a mad one the other night, and I was like, I came off and I felt good, and then I sat and I was like, 100 people peaked. Imagine they were just sat in front of me. I think I'd be mixing up with words.
Yeah.
You seen the Microsoft dip? Let me have a look.
I'm gonna have a look at some. Wait, I'm just gonna mute myself quick.
Yeah, that's fine. Microsoft down 3.7% after hours.
I've just seen as well. I joined the premium groups. Can you send me a message? I'll send you a message after the stream.
For that, Alfie?
I'll send you a message after the stream. Debating whether to load up on Grab.
How do you find
Can you convince me?
Honestly, just scanning the market.
Little part on you, but alright, okay.
Looking at the bigger players. Other times I'm just looking through random charts of stocks.
So like Grab.
Earnings and that. I'll look in the company.
We're not on Grab, we're on Honest. Grab has been trading quite sideways. I mean, it's gone up a bit slowly. If you look even on the technicals, look at the MACD, it's about to cross and it looks like it's going to explode.
How much do you invest in stocks at the minute? I'm up to £100 a month. At the beginning of the year, I started with £30 a month, so I've increased it massively, but that's due to clearing my debt. And then
their financials, if you can see, sorry, it's really hard with a stream on.
I think I save roughly.
Look at the growth of their revenue.
60% of my wage, with 50-odd% of it going.
And then they've got the different segments. So obviously they've got the deliveries, mobility, so the taxis. And then they've got the financial services revenue, which is interesting as this has got some growth here as well.
TikTok and YouTube.
I'm just going to go back on the live because and then I'll leave soon.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Someone's asking about Fubo, which is one of yours.
Do you know what? Fubo, it's one of those where like the merger, it went up insane amounts and then it's absolutely crashed down again, and it's like, it is what it is. A lot of people were probably in it for the merger to then sell when it got announced, and people profited because I think it went up 30% at one point in pre-market today. So people took the profits, and then, but the thing is, like, the management team had to give out some financials for the shareholders because to see if it makes sense and if the shareholders even wanted this to happen. And if you use their financials, I came up with another like projections of if they were trading at a 30 PE with the financials that they'll give him. Yeah. It worked out, like off the top of my head, 2026, if they hit the financials they're saying at 30 PE, Fubo could be trading at $7 something. And it's like I mean it's I think it's gonna have a nice run in the next year or two, but we're gonna get more clarification on Monday. I think their earnings are, and we'll get more details. But this is the thing: some stocks they'll have like a bad settlement. Like no one will really want to be in the stock, and then all of a sudden everyone wants to be in the stock. Yeah. And it's a very small market cap. It's a 1.2 billion market cap. Fubo. It's got a lot of growth. They're concentrating on the sports streaming side of things. They're another one that's becoming very close to being profitable, just as Fubo as a company. But now obviously Hulu have come into play. They're going to be profitable. So it's a completely different company now that Hulu's come into play. But I'm not worried about this drop or what it is. Like, it just means I buy a few more shares, or like, it is what it is.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
I mean, I'm to be honest, I'm up 51% on it now. So
even with the current price, that's quite impressive.
And I averaged up as well. I averaged because I got into Fubo before this Hulu thing was a thing. Because I was like, Fubo just as a company as a whole, I was like, it's quite an interesting thing. I was like, this got some potential. So I was buying it at like $1 something, and then obviously that whole Hulu rumor came about, so it went up a lot, and then it hovered around the $3 mark, and then it's now been
the news, didn't it?
Yeah, and then now obviously it's happened. It went to like $4.50 or whatever, and now it's $3.65. But I've been averaging up, to be honest, because of going off the management financials. I was like, I mean, it made sense to me.
Average price target from analysts is $5.35.
And is that going off Fubo as a company or now with the Hulu situation?
That's, if you have a look, the last one was given in July.
Yeah, that would be going off Fubo then.
Yeah, and then
So that's what I meant.
May
That's what I
before
mean.
that.
Like I just
So
thought it was a buy.
Someone's asked me, have you read Rich Dad Poor Dad? I have. I think that's one of the best books to read if you want to learn more about money and how to get money to earn for you. Work for you, sorry.
And the problem is as well, like people go, what price is a good price to get into this company? And it's like, it's you can't. Well, I can't say that. You can't really say I'll get it at this price because we can't. We're not financial advisors. But like, what I do is as well in the Discord and things, like I show, and in my earlier videos I show like the projections of where I see the company going off, obviously what guidance they give in the earnings calls, or even information that you find of like what industry they're in and how much of the market they've got of it, and you gather all this data, and then you can see the margins, see how much they could be increasing their margins by, and you just try and get as much information as you can, and then you can start putting it into like a projections calculator, which is what I've got, and if they were trading at a certain PE ratio, then there'll be that price. So you can, like, for instance, I've done one with Meta recently, and they were trading at I think it was a 25 PE, might be wrong, let me just double check, they've probably changed because of obviously what's happened, but yeah, 26. So at the time I was doing it as a 25 PE, and then if they achieved that EPS, which is what some analysts were saying, and also from some of the data I came across, if they did get a 25 PE in, let's say 2028 at those earnings, they would be at this price. So then for me, I'm like, well, I'm going to buy it. It makes sense. So, yeah.
I think that's where a lot of people go wrong. Ask, should I buy now, or are you buying now, or what price should I get in at? Really, you've got to look forward to see what price you see you're getting at, because then in your head you set that boundary of, right, I want a 20% safety net from that number, or
Yeah.
whatever.
I think as well, like Nibius is quite an interesting one, because they come up with a big contract. I can't remember what it was. Microsoft, that was it. Yeah. So they
7.1 billion.
Exactly. So you can start then getting a figure from that and going, okay, this is what we're going to have now for our revenues from this contract. That changes the game for the company. Hence why at the time it went up 30% off the news. And people were like, oh, this is looking overstretched. Should I be buying at these prices? But I think I did some calculations with it, and I was like, even with the run up it had, it still looks like a steal to buy.
Yeah.
Just off those and that's just another example.
So I did the maths, and they're currently looking at around 430 million revenue per year. Before that deal alone's 870 million per quarter. So it's crazy.
That is mad. That is mad.
I have to keep everything written down, otherwise I'll forget it. So every time I research a stock now, I'll write it down. Yeah,
sometimes it's really bad because I will look at something and I'll kind of like keep it in my head and go, that's some good information, or that's really positive, or that. But then sometimes a few weeks later I'm like, oh, I can't remember the stat, and I should have just written it down somewhere, but I know it was a good thing for the company, and it's like, ugh. But this is the other thing as well. If you get into individual stocks, you've got to be prepared to just sadly look at them every day, and see more information.
People ask me at work, they're like, "Oh, what are you doing tonight?" And in my head, I know I'm going home and I'm looking at stocks, but I just feel like I can't say that every night because I think I'm some big investor, which I'm not. But I'm just like, yeah, nothing.
I'm gonna head off on the stream, but it's been good doing this. And
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah. See you guys later on the TikTok stream. See you in a bit.
Thank you. See you later.
Alright. Oh my god, I just hurt myself. Don't like that. Okay. I'm back properly. That was good doing that stream. Hopefully let me know in the chat. I'm going to be able to properly see the chat now. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I can't believe we've got 88 people in here. Thank you so much. Hit the like button if you're really enjoying it. If you enjoyed that as well, I know you couldn't see John, but we can do it so that we do it on YouTube, and you can see on YouTube and actually see John instead of just hearing him, and do more of that as well if you did enjoy that, because we can definitely do that for sure. And yeah, hopefully that wasn't too bad for you guys, because I was nearly not going to stream it on YouTube, and I was like, you know what, I'll stream it. If anyone wants to just listen into the conversation, then you can, or even just tune in on the TikTok stream. Because I was going to stream on TikTok, but I thought I'll just join as a guest, because otherwise it's just too much going on then. But yeah, no, Palantir nearly hitting $200 is insane. Yeah, I did buy some Meta. I ended up buying some Meta. I'll show you the portfolio, and it's not looking good. It's red, but that's all part of investing for you. It's fine. I mean, it's actually kind of recovering a little bit since last time I checked, but we are actually down. We're down 6.6%. I picked up some more Honest, picked up some more Meta. So yeah. So I'm just going to constantly keep buying if it goes down, because I'm really happy with this price of Meta. So if I can buy some more of that, that's great. Honest is a bit more question. I really need to see their earnings this quarter and see if they can just. It'd be interesting to see if they slowed down the advertising costs again, and just to become closer to profitability in this quarter. But it's going to be a bit of an interesting earnings. It could be very volatile. I mean, they got 70 million in cash, Honest, and they're 400 million market cap. Yeah, 384 million market. So they're a tiny company. So the stock could really move if they do good earnings. I want to have a look at if I've missed anything, because I need to have a look at Microsoft and Google's earnings and a bit more of Meta. But yeah, we had rate cuts today. John was the person I was streaming with on TikTok. So I just did a little stream, joined his stream. We just had a chat about stocks and investing. And I guess you guys were listening in to that, which hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We've got 91 people in here, which is insane. You got 2 share. Rich ended up getting 2 shares of Meta at 689. Do you wish you bought Google instead of Meta? No, I'm fine. I know Google's on a run, and because their earnings are great, but I'm fine with it. Like, it's because they've done really good earnings. Like Google, I said on a TikTok as well about buying here, or is a good price to get here, and I didn't do it myself, but I've done the maths on Meta, and a few years time, looking out, this will be a good price, I think. Let's go back in the shares. Their stocks and shares ISA. So, did they? Yeah, so their capex. But did they raise that? I don't know what their last was. Ah. Because that's the thing, like Nvidia, AMD are going to be looking at is the capex gone up, and that's what a lot of analysts will be looking at. Don't think I've missed anything. Got 101 people in here. This is crazy. Hit the like button if you're enjoying it. Join the stream. Have you ever bought an ETF? I haven't. I know it's bad, but I will eventually. Well, I actually will be, to be honest with you, because I'm going to open up a SIP in. You guys told me to Invest Engine, was it? Get Invest Engine. So I think I'm going to download that app and use Invest Engine for my SIP, and I'll be buying the S&P 500. So I will have exposure to the S&P 500, yeah. Google has surpassed 300 million paid subscriptions driven by strong growth in Google One and YouTube Premium. You forget about that, don't you? You forget about YouTube Premium. Because I even pay for YouTube Premium. South Korea agrees to a $350 billion deal. South Korea will get lower tariffs. South Korea to buy oil. Interesting. Meta on capex. As we have begun to plan for the next year, it become clear that our compute needs to have continue expand meaningfully. We expect to invest aggressively to meet these needs, both by building our own infrastructure and contracting with third-party cloud providers. We anticipate this will provide further upward pressure on the capex and expense plans next year. As a result, our current expectation is that capex dollar growth will notably larger in 2026 than 2025. Wow. Invest account could be short term. It depends. It depends. It depends. I'll be like, if we did have a big run up, I would be selling out and stuff. But whereas the ISA is very long term mindset. Yeah, this was mad though, wasn't it? $2.87 beating expectations of $2.27. Revenue of 102 billion being 94. Everything was a good buy in April, exactly. Nice one, Woody. Up 34% on Google. Alright, I think that's it for the stream, really. Hopefully you did enjoy the stream. Hit the like button if you have enjoyed. I nearly accidentally ended the stream earlier than I wanted to. If you are interested in the Discords that I might have mentioned, and also people have said in the Discord, in the chat about the Discord, obviously where I post when I buy, and also when I sell shares, you get to see how many shares I bought, what price I bought in at, which is link in the description, which is the Discord one. So it's just things like this you get to see, and then we've got like a little chat as well. And I've been on a spending spree, yeah. And then we've got the One Big Journey one, which is really, really, really good. The community we've built in this is amazing. Like, people share their portfolios, and yeah, people react to it, which I'm going to react to now. So if you want to join, link in the description. They're both £5 a month, and like, for instance, Meta, people are putting all the information in here because they've just had earnings. Same with SoFi when it came out, and same with Google. And then we've got stock discussion chats and all sorts, and even we've got, this is John, by the way, and we've also got, do we not have it? Yeah, health and fitness. So people, someone saw Eddie Hall. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed the stream, and yeah, what another mental day in the stock market. It's just mad what's happening right now. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next stream.